Alright people, now that Comic-Con, aka NACCC is over, let's do a wrap up, talk about some lessons learned and some things that I will probably do in the future, so let's get into it. And for more comics content, head over to genoscomics.wordpress.com. Okay people, so let's talk about it. So NACCC, not at Comic-Con, was just an event I had. I'll give you a little bit of the brief background before I get into the full. San Diego Comic-Con is back after a couple of 2-3 year hiatus. So it's back, everybody's excited, I think so. Even though, like, we won't get into the full landscape of how conventions look right now, but just briefly, just Comic-Con's back, San Diego Comic-Con, so it was just cool and I wanted to celebrate that. I was like, okay, so what can I do for San Diego Comic-Con, celebrate the return of San Diego Comic-Con, and then it just kind of expanded to, okay, not just Comic-Con, but comic conventions in whole, so let's celebrate that. And I figured, you know what, let me go back through my trip to San Diego Comic-Con back in 2011, which I never actually even, I probably mentioned this in one of the videos, but I've never actually shown those pictures. They've only been on Facebook because I didn't start blogging or doing anything until later that year, and everything I'd done before that, I just kind of left it at that. So those pictures have never been seen outside of Facebook, and maybe I posted a couple somewhere else, but I doubt it. So I was like, oh, you know what, I can bring those back. I was like, oh, you know what, I can do even more, which is what we got into. But going back again, I did, as I said, I want to touch on the full background now. So during the pandemic, when everything was shut down, and I did touch on all of this in my blog post, so go check that out if you haven't read that. But I posted all the photo galleries there and everything. But during the pandemic, I said, oh, you know what? Everything, all these events are shut down because obviously for safety issues. I want to hold a, like, what can I do to do a kind of an online convention? Like, how would it look? Something like a virtual event, something maybe on Twitter or on my blog, whatever. Like, how would that look? And some of the ideas I had were contacting a few creators and maybe making a couple kind of headliners, and then having a couple others and get those headliners to maybe take, I don't know, an hour of their time either on Twitter or some other space and kind of open it up, like have them like do a Q&A with fans, again through probably Twitter, probably be the main space for it or somewhere else, and like just like, all right, if they're able to give up some time and just answer questions and just interact with fans, do that, and then maybe reach out to some dealers, some vendors, and maybe offer up like, hey, you know, if I'm doing this event for this weekend, maybe you could offer up, if you do online sales and you're willing to ship, like, hey, maybe you can offer up a discount code for people to use. That's for this 3-day span, 2-3 day span, whatever, just for this event. Just some interaction, kind of get that sort of pseudo Comic-Con experience. You're gonna go to the vendors, do some shopping. That's a way to boost your sales and get people some books. So it should work. But they never really kind of went beyond that. It was just kind of, oh, do a lot of brainstorming. And then other con organizers did start holding some of their own events, publishers doing online things, and not just Q&As, but just all types of events, and just get a way to share their own news. So okay, just kind of put it on my mind. So fast forward to last week, and a couple days before Comic-Con, I was like, oh, I was thinking about it again. It popped back in my head. Like, oh, you know, I bring back my pictures. Then boom, this whole massive idea came, and I was like, oh, so now like short notice, I was like, all right, how can I do this? What can I do? And I did reach out to a couple creators to host some interviews. I did hear back from one, but she was unable to do it because she had prior engagement over the weekend. Another creator I reached out to, he did not respond, and I had a couple others lined up, and I had questions ready. So, all right, so I got to be able to do this. Like, what we're gonna do? So just kind of brainstorming all these ideas. I was gonna do the photo gallery, so I did upload all. I had probably 250 pictures, basically connected with the convention. I had some around the city that I cut out, but I think I showed them other places though. But so I uploaded that all 3 days. I did some videos on the channel. Again, my first one was just my memories from, or some memories from San Diego Comic-Con 2011, as well as some of my other finest convention memories. And then I did my other video was the my convention backpack prep. So what I pack in my Comic-Con bag, my con bag. So go check those out if you need some tips heading to a convention if you haven't been to one for a while. If you've never been to one, just to give you some ideas of what you might want to take with you. So there's a couple other things I probably would have done. Again, I definitely would have reached out to some more creators sooner, but again, it was all short notice, so I had no expectations. It was just kind of last spur of the moment thing, and oh, you know, this would be fun to do. And it was. it's kind of just cool, just kind of work through some things. Like, oh, what would I do, especially short notice? But I definitely reach out to some creators sooner, some vendors, or online, just people who do online sales, comic sales, or collectibles, but just kind of figure out again like some way to boost their sales and kind of connect with some collectors, people looking to do some shopping, especially online, get some books that they don't have, or books or other collectibles that they're after. And then some lessons learned. I would change the name. First lesson learned, changing the name. It was just way too long. It's just even just saying it or writing it out was just way too long. And I think the other idea, one of the ideas I came up with was At Home Comic Con. So shorthand would just be AHCC. Simpler. I would absolutely just do that, because not at Comic Con. It sounds like it's cool, it's novel, but it was just way too long. And NACCC just sounds ridiculous. So it's too many C's, just too long. So I would shorten it up to go with probably At Home Comic Con. Again, brainstorming if I ever do this again, just for the fun of it. I think that was probably my greatest takeaway, especially because, again, as I said, it was all short notice. It was just like, oh, let me just do some fun, just a way to celebrate the return to Comic Con and all things comic convention related over the course of a weekend, to kind of do a get a feel for Comic Cons, just have some fun. And again, the creator interviews I was really looking forward to, and I would definitely look to do that because there's creators I wanted to talk to anyway and have interviews with. And I figured, oh, like this is a perfect chance, because as I was saying in the messages to them, like, hey, I'm doing this event, and part of the convention experience is hearing from creators. So would you be interested in interviews and blah, blah, blah this? So I would definitely interested in doing that. And I still plan to do some creator interviews. I still have a list of creators that I want to talk to, especially creators that aren't creators and roles that aren't as well talked about, that aren't talked about as much. So that's something I definitely intend to do. And I'm still reaching out to some other creators for future interviews, and especially with C2E2 coming up. So hopefully looking forward to talking to some in the upcoming months. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that was just some things there. And I'm curious what everybody thought of it. Just if you took kind of saw that, I'm sure people were confused as hell. Like, what the hell is he talking about? What is this? Not at Comic Con. We got San Diego Comic Con going on. Nobody cares. We're talking about Geno. What the hell? I'm confused. But definitely go check out the blog. You can get some background there from previous videos. And that's kind of what this video was. Just give you a light background if you're confused about what the hell was going on, and just some of the causes why, and just some things I'm looking for, or that I would do in the future, provided I do this again, which I probably will, just for the fun of it. So yes, I'm always curious to hear some feedback, some of your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in joining up for something like this in the future, definitely let me know. You can drop it in the comments below, or email me, or message me, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Definitely curious to hear from everybody, thoughts and opinions. So share those in the comments below. Happy reading, happy nights, happy collecting. This is Geno's Comics. Thanks for watching, and peace out.